We had an update this week from Canada Bay Council on the progress of this project at Charles Heath Reserve, where they're putting in this nice new play space. And I want to draw your attention to two items. The first one is they're saying existing parking will be upgraded as part of the works, and the health club will relocate to the new facility at Concord Oval in mid-2022, which will reduce the demand on existing car parking spaces. The second thing is formalising the path for bikes, essentially, will be addressed when a review and master plan for the golf course is undertaken in the near future. And I'm doing that in air quotes because near future could be, I don't know, anywhere in the next 10 years. The car park entry provides access from the northern car park. This car park will be utilised more than it currently is when the playground opens, and will explore the use of child-safe locks in this location. And I read this and I thought, oh, for the love of God, seriously? Council has this great big capital works budget and they're putting all these wonderful improvements in around our area. But they don't seem to be thinking about how we're supposed to get to them. And I'm not talking about parking when we get there. I'm talking about whether people are going to be bothered to get in their cars and fight through traffic to get to these locations, like this car park, this playground. I mean, I'm already thinking of it as a car park. And if you actually look at the map that they've provided, the space for car parking is just about bigger than the space they provided for the playground and open space. It's absolutely unbelievable. 50% of the open space is taken up by tarmac. Now, if you're into the climate change and all the rest of it, well, you've got to think about the heat reflectivity of all of that compared to grass and the water runoff and the impact on the stormwater system and blah, blah, blah. I mean, building car parks out of asphalt is really not a sensible thing. But coming back to this issue of traffic, we're building libraries and car parks and goodness knows what else with really no consideration about how easy it is for people to get to them. And this is the whole idea of hopping on the bike, because it might be slower in terms of you don't have the same top speed, but you're not sitting there grinding through traffic, and stop-start, maybe hitting 60 kilometres an hour every now and then spending a lot of time doing zero. And as you've probably seen from just watching this video here, I've illustrated this with just a couple of bottlenecks that you often see when you're riding around the Canada Bay area, where traffic just comes to a standstill several times a day. And there's nothing that can be done about the road space issue. I mean, no one's going to be bulldozing houses to put a 4-lane road through where there's a 2-lane road. Tunnels are unaffordable. What are the options? Well, I guess one option would be to take away the parking on the side of the road, so you could have 2 lanes in each direction. But then, of course, people scream that you've taken away their parking. And what happens when you do that? Well, all you do is you just shift the bottleneck up the road a bit further. Here's a classic example from over in Hawthorn Parade, where I was just going for a nice ride and I looked across to my right and I thought, God, there's a whole line of traffic there not going anywhere at all. Another bottleneck. And this was dumping out onto, is it Marion Street, I think? And Marion Street was a complete logjam from end to end as well when I finally got to that. So, coming back to the point of what's the point of building all these wonderful facilities if we're not going to think about how we actually get people to them? And the car is just not working. We've all done I think we've tested that idea to destruction. And the more cars we stick on the road, the worse the traffic gets, and the less inclined we are to go to the car park, go to the playground, or go to the library, or go to the swimming pool, or go to whatever the hell else the council's building. So, I would have thought instead of prioritising car parking here, they should have prioritised the building of the path to allow local residents to get to this car park much more easily. It really is time council got their head around this issue.